Hey, what's up guys? I'm here at the Hacienda with Hank Strange and family. And today we're doing a couple of videos. One we want to work on is testing out my Tisas 1911. This is a Turkish-made A1 style 1911. It's very inexpensive, and we're going to try this out against what is probably a twice the price 1911, the Kimber Pro Carry 2.
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna see how these guns do for a little bit of reliability, trying them out with some different ammo, trying them with some different magazines, and also just kind of give our general impressions of them.
Absolutely.
From some, very limited perspective, I guess.
Right, I'm not an expert on 1911, I don't know about you.
No, furthest thing from it, but I enjoy them so far, so stick around. All right, starting off with some Hornady critical defense through the Tisas 1911. I'm going to go with the top right target. And we have a little jam up there. Or at least it locked back. Let me just, I loaded up, so that could be that my thumb was holding that back. Honestly, I don't know why that locked up just then.
Let's see if it happens again.
Exactly.
Could be a one-off.
Wonder if I was riding the safety. Could have done it. Okay, that's correct. Now, I'm pulling off to the left a little bit. It's kind of typical for me, but otherwise we did have one little hang up in there. I can't really explain it at this point. Let's move on to the Kimber and see if it does the same. Now the Kimber Pro Carry 2 also with some of that Hornady critical defense. We'll go with the top left target this time. And no problems on that one. That's good to know.
Yeah, you also seemed a little bit more consistent there.
Yeah, a little bit. I was off to the right just slightly on that one.
Yeah.
So the trigger is definitely better on the Kimber. I noticed that. That could be part of why I felt a little more consistent, was performing a little more consistently with my groups there. We'll see. All right, Hank, ready to take it with these two?
Oh, yeah.
All right, what do you want to shoot first?
I'll go with the Tisas. I'll do the same thing you did. I don't think it's too bad. I had one kind of way up there, and one that went off to the left, so, but no issues.
Good.
So let's try the Kimber. It's a little smoother on it, but I think I did just about the same, if not a little bit worse. So I can't really see too much difference. Did you notice a huge difference shooting one to the other?
I would say that the trigger on the Kimber was a little less, what would you say, noticeable. Okay. And if I don't really notice it, that tells me it's a good trigger.
Yeah. Smoother follow-up, I feel. I felt like it was a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
Than the Tisas.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There's definitely some things in that gun that make it a nicer 1911.
Right.
Shoot and to look at.
Right.
So as far as its performance, well, we did see that one hang up from the Tisas.
Right.
I think it was on the first group.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if that
happens
carries
again.
If it carries
right.
over.
Or if it was maybe something with the ammo.
It could have just been the defensive ammo that I was trying to put through it. Maybe it didn't like it.
Okay.
So I'll have to put more through it in the future and see if it hangs up anymore.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to shoot some of this aluminum 45 right now. Is this gun going to have any problems? Is it going to be finicky with different types of ammunition? Let's try some aluminum and find out. shooting on some steel. All right, a few misses there, but that's real life.
Yeah, that's you, not the gun.
That's me, not the gun, exactly.
Yeah.
Now I will say that the sights, they're very rudimentary, and if you can see them on this gun, they're actually painted white by me.
Okay.
And you've seen some of that coming off there probably.
So you didn't find whatever was on there when you bought it to be enough?
Right.
Okay.
And so I wanted something that I would pick up a little faster and show a little more contrast between the sights and the target. So I went ahead and painted them white. We'll see how it holds up. But they are also very rudimentary sights. This is more of the A1 version of the 1911.
Okay.
So that's one of the characteristics of that type of 1911. So it's basic, but gets the job done for the most part.
There were no malfunctions there.
No malfunctions with the aluminum, and I'll also mention that the second magazine was a 10-rounder.
Right.
So if we were going to have an issue with different type of magazine, I would guess that a 10-rounder might give us a little problems, but no problems so far.
Ran?
They ran.
No issues there, yeah.
You don't seem to have any issues with those sights?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing, I'm getting a little bit of bite with this, biting down into...
I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I feel when it's shooting from...
Is that some hammer bite?
No, it's not. It's just this, I'm not even sure what you call that here.
Oh,
on
backstrap safety?
Yeah, on the backstrap safety, it's got a little hook over, and that's just digging down in there a little bit.
Wow.
But that's my baby hands. You know, I've got soft, delicate hands. If you know about this, Scout. Don't tell anyone. All right. Let's see how this is. Flinch there. Yeah, out at distance I wasn't so good either, but no functional problems.
No functional
with
problems.
it. No,
Good to see.
not at all. So, yeah.
Now, do you think the trigger had something to do with your...
I think it's the sights for me.
Okay.
I think closer up I could handle the sights better, but further out I'm having like a harder time. And I was shooting kind of fast there. I could definitely slow down and take my time with something far out, but I always just want to know, how am I going to shoot instinctively?
Yeah. So was it trying to reacquire those sights after on a follow-up shot?
Yeah, I mean, it's so I think just that little tiny space in there and trying to line it up for me wasn't always it's not fast to do that. Okay. Yeah, I think I would have to take some time and figure out how it works. So I'm gonna definitely blame my accuracy on the sights. On the sights. Yeah,
I'll back you up on that to whatever degree I can, whatever degree it's worth.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it with the Kimber over here.
Kimber, okay.
Now, looking at the guns, there's some obvious differences. I won't try to go through all of them. The sights are a big difference. You can clearly tell. These are much larger, and you can tell that you can swap them out and put nicer sights in there. This one comes with night sights installed on it, at least on this this version right here. We also see some of the design characteristics that make this one the A1 style, and this one is more of an advanced type of the design. You can see the holes, the skeletonizing in the trigger, as well as on the hammer in the back, where the A1 style has neither of those things. All right, once again, we're shooting a little bit of aluminum through this Kimber, hoping to choke it up, but I don't think we will. Oh, maybe we will.
Uh-oh, so right away it didn't go all the way in.
It didn't want to go all the way into battery.
Yeah. still not going in.
No, we will go ahead and lock that back. Pop that one round out. Maybe it just didn't like that one round. We'll see how it does. No. Check that out.
So this would be tighter tolerances on the Kimber.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's not gonna do anything.
Might as well try it a little, just one more time.
Yeah.
We'll try with the slide release there, or slide catch. And that one still did not go all the way into battery. You can see that here.
Yeah.
I might be able to force it. I'm not so sure I should. It just does not seem to like that aluminum. At least not loading it straight out of the gate. Yeah, I don't think I want to force it.
Yeah. I think right there, that's a thing when you're dealing with a finer 1911, right? Tighter tolerances.
Tighter tolerances is what they're known for. As you get kind of higher up in price and higher up in quality, yeah, tighter tolerances. And you can feel that as you compare the two guns side by side. When you kind of mess with the slide, kind of try to move it side to side like that.
Right, yeah. Less play.
Less play. On the Tisas, there's quite a bit more play in there.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I agree with you on that.
That Kimber is tighter, and that aluminum apparently is making it hang up.
We can try some brass, so we can do the same exercise here.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Scout. So
I think we've come to accept that the Kimber hates aluminum.
yeah, for sure.
For sure. I mean, it won't even shoot it.
No.
It won't even chamber it.
Yeah.
So we'll leave that alone. We're not going to try to put any more aluminum through it. We've got a little bit of brass here. These are factory, not reloads, or not factory.
No, they're
reloads.
factory reloads.
Factory reloads.
Yeah.
And I think you were telling me they're meant for competition and stuff like that.
Yeah, mostly the guys buying it are buying it for competition, so should be fine, but we'll see.
Great. Let's put some of that through it.
Oh. Doesn't want to load that one either.
Could it be the magazine? I don't think it's a magazine.
Yeah, now was that the original magazine we were using with the Kimber?
Let's take a look at it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the original one that you gave me from that box.
Okay. So
we'll
let's see. Let's
again.
try another one.
We are correctly loaded in there.
Nope.
Let's see. Let's just see if I press that in a little more from the bottom. Will that cause a malfunction, or that will make it feed? I don't know. It seemed to go, but I don't trust it.
Yeah, that seemed to have fed.
Well, it's in full battery, so it should be safe to shoot. Let's see.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it could just be. I don't know if this one would have gotten dirty already. It doesn't really feel like it's dirty. This Kimber, we've only put maybe 20 rounds through it.
Yeah, hardly even that.
Yeah. So yeah, let's see how that runs.
All right.
You're out of battery.
Yep.
So
It would not eject that fully.
yeah.
So we had it running just fine with the quantities, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So like we said, this was the factory stuff. The only thing we can do now, you do have, I mean, no, that was the reloaded, but factory reloaded.
Factory stuff.
Yeah. So do you want to try some factory stuff?
Let's try some factory brass and see how that does. This is Cellier and below. Let's see how this does.
Nope.
No, still does not want to.
Yeah, this could definitely be a problem with the Kimber at this point.
I would think so, because we've tried 3 different types of ammunition.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the magazine either, though, because we've tried a couple different magazines.
Yes.
This is different from the one we were just trying.
So, I mean, the Kimber worked. What did we use in the beginning? The Kimber, I think the defensive stuff, it was good with that.
Yeah, it was fine with the defensive stuff. We will, I don't know, if I press on the base of that magazine, no, that didn't do it either.
Yeah, the only thing I would say here before we call it quits maybe on the Kimber is to try to see if it'll take that defensive stuff. Do we have any of that left?
I think we shot it all.
We shot it all, yeah.
We shot it all.
So,
we did shoot some of it through the Kimber, though. I think we put 10 rounds of it through the Kimber, which did fine.
The only thing I could think of is that it may be dirty, but that really shouldn't. I mean, unless the tolerances on it are just really, really tight, that shouldn't stop it from...
You know, it feels fairly smooth as I'm just racking the slide here. So it's hard to think that it's dirty enough that it would cause any problems.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's the deal right now. And it kind of boggles my mind that stuff that's both factory reloaded as well as stuff that's just off the shelf.
Yeah. But this is how it goes when you're making gun videos.
That's right.
You never know what you're going to come across. I mean, yes, it feels You know, I don't think we got anything in there that would slow it down. Yeah,
it feels pretty smooth,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, feels, you know, loose enough to load, so I'm not really sure what's going on there.
And we tried the magazine that came with it, as well as my other 1911 magazine, as well as a 10-rounder. All
Right.
of them had issues. So at this point, we tried to say that it was the aluminum that was the problem. I don't think we can say that necessarily.
No,
anymore.
I don't. Yeah, it may not be the aluminum with this. Just maybe that something's up with the gun, and maybe from the initial firing, you know, something happened. But I know that when we did the defensive, which is, I mean, that's a hot load,
Yeah,
right?
I think it's a little bit hot, and at the very least, it's a good quality load, but
Right.
it's also a hollow point
Yeah,
with
so
that little rubber insert.
yeah, so I'm not sure. I don't think that could have really done anything that I could think of that would bring it to this point. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and doesn't want to go in. I'm gonna put it into battery. Let's see how it runs that. Nope.
You're out of battery.
Yeah. And so it ran that,
Here.
but it didn't want to go into, yeah, I mean, it didn't want to go into battery without being forced. Let's see what it does now. Nope. So it's running it. It's just not happy taking it initially. I don't know.
Let's try one more magazine and see how it behaves. Nope. Still doing
I think
the same
yeah,
thing.
it's possible. You know, I don't think it would do that when it's dirty, but it's acting like that.
Yeah, that's what it is doing.
Yeah.
All right. So for unknown reasons, this gun is not wanting to go into battery off the bat. If you slam it into battery, it seems to cycle sort of okay.
Yeah.
It might have a little hang up here and there, but
Right.
I don't know.
I would say it's probably dirty. I mean, maybe people out there will have a better idea of what it is.
Yeah.
I think if it's dirty at this point, I mean, we didn't put that many rounds through it. I didn't clean it ahead of time, but it just doesn't seem like it's dirty to me.
It doesn't seem like it's dirty. It
Yeah.
feels really smooth as I'm racking it. So finding the reasons why it won't go into battery right now is, I don't know, it's
Yeah.
boggling my mind.
It's magical, mystical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's put a few more rounds through the Tisas and just see how that does. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's do
All right,
that.
let's go for
Okay.
it.
No problem chambering.
Nope. Did just fine. And the 10-round magazine, which I feel like you can also push that one a
Yeah.
little too far as well.
Yeah, I heard that click.
Did you see that happen?
Yeah.
It went a little too far, I pulled it back, and now it seems to be resting in the right place. It's chambering all right. Everything seems to be running
No
well.
worries. Yeah. I would say here, I mean, you know, we can run it some more. I'd love to shoot. I think that it's definitely not an ammunition problem, what we had before. It's more the gun.
I think it comes down to looser tolerances. Maybe this gun is a little more accepting of different types of ammo, maybe different types
Yeah.
of magazines, etc. And so the looser tolerances seem to be giving this gun an edge.
Right. Absolutely.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I would want to like the Kimber. One of the reasons why I don't like this gun right now, I'll tell you like a negative about it, is this hook is actually biting into me a little bit.
I'm starting to feel that as well.
Yeah, and I don't like that. Now with the Kimber, that actually curves up.
Yeah.
So I don't feel that way when it's going in, it's not biting in.
Yes.
So that makes you want to like the Kimber over the Tisas. The thing is, what I like is that I would like my gun to run anything, if possible.
Oh, absolutely.
You know.
All right, so we talked a little bit earlier about the fact that this is an A1 design and this is not an A1 design. So some of the characteristics in the 1911 A1 is that you don't have skeletonized trigger, nor do you have that in the hammer. Also, the hammer has got that more classical, more rudimentary shape to it, which is not what you have here on this Kimber. And what we discovered and have been talking about just a moment ago is the beaver tail here.
Yeah.
And how that curves up on the Kimber, which makes it much more comfortable for shooting.
Yeah.
Now, the safety slash beaver tail on the Tisas, or in that A1 style design, is just as functional as far as making that safety come off when you grip it. But because that does not curve back up and create a more ergonomic beaver tail, you can possibly get some of that sort of bite in it.
Yeah.
I guess you'd call it beaver tail bite, which is kind of weird.
Exactly.
But it's not hammer bite for sure.
Right.
Because the hammer's just not coming back quite far enough.
No, it's not that at all. It's just, I mean, it's just pointing down a little bit, and then with the recoil, it's just digging in a little bit.
Are you getting kind of a cut there?
I got a little bit of something. I mean, it's healing up now, but
okay. I'm not getting a cut so much as just some redness there.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't have that so much from the Kimber.
Yeah. Now, is that something you can change on a 1911?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah.
So this gun should be completely compatible with all the other parts kits you might get out there. So you could even get like a Kimber beaver tail.
Yeah, that's not a super negative, because you can buy one of those from Brownells or someplace,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
But that's probably where a lot of the cost difference comes from.
Yeah.
So this one, I think it runs in the $800 range, maybe $700.
Yeah, it's between $700, $800.
You don't have an exact
something.
price on it.
Because there's so many Kimber. This is a Kimber Pro Carry 2.
Yes.
But there's about 5 or 7 of them actually.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of different types of this gun. So I would put it somewhere in that $700-800 range.
Right.
Whereas this one, you can be had for around $300-400. So we're basically looking at a gun that's about twice the cost of this one right here.
Yeah.
And some of that expense goes into the manufacturing of the better parts, you know, the higher quality parts, the tighter tolerances, which, as we're discovering today, aren't necessarily an advantage.
Now, can you change the sights on the Tisas?
Absolutely not.
You cannot.
You cannot. With that A1 style design,
negative.
With A1 style design, whether it's a Tisas or a Taurus or a Smith & Wesson, if it's an A1, it's not going to have replaceable sights.
Yeah.
So
you want to think about that.
Yes, that is something you want to think about, because the sights are quite a bit nicer on this Kimber.
Because what I noticed, the distance, and I think you did too, is like less accuracy, but it's more time trying to figure out how how they work. I'm more comfortable with this setup of side acquisition. So.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. So there's just some points on sort of how the Tisas, or that A1 style design, compares to some of the more advanced designs from Kimber and from many other designs. All right, Hank, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm still sort of confused about what we found out today. I don't think we really settled on any real answer about whether one of these is a better gun.
No, I think that would be very difficult to do. It would take a lot more than what we're doing here.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, this is kind of seat of the pants stuff.
Very much so.
Yeah.
We have a very limited amount of ammunition. We shot some defensive rounds, which are critically important, in my opinion, to try out through your gun.
Yeah.
And we found that the Tisas did get hung up on some of that.
I think one round at least.
Yeah, just one round, I think it was.
Too bad.
So not terrible performance, but one round did have a little issue.
Right.
Whereas the Kimber Pro Carry 2 didn't have any issues.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It did just fine with it. It loved it.
That's not the worst part.
No, it got very interesting after that, as you probably saw. The Tisas seemed to eat up everything else: aluminum, brass, reloads, as well as some off-the-shelf brass from Cellular and Bellow as well. But at the same time, as we were getting some great results from the Tisas,
the Pro Carry 2 just did not like the factory reloaded brass we had. It didn't like the
aluminum.
Didn't like the aluminum.
Didn't like the off-the-shelf brass.
Yeah, we initially thought it was the aluminum, but it really wasn't. I think it was the gun. There's something up with it, and we could get the rounds in, but we would have to knock the slide every time. Yeah, the slide down.
It feels clean. It feels like it's pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think dirt is the problem with that gun. Maybe it's got some other bigger issue that we're just not aware of because it doesn't belong to either of us.
Yeah. I could say it's the tolerances. That's really what I think. I mean,
now you can obviously get much nicer than this Kimber right here. You can spend what, 3 times what this costs?
Yeah,
4
I mean,
times?
I've seen 1911s going for $7 grand up to, you name it, man.
Yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Depending on who builds it. So.
I'm sure. So
yeah, and it's a nice gun.
It is a nice gun.
Yes, it's a nice gun. I wouldn't knock it at all. There's some really nice features in there, and I enjoy that. I think that the person who's going to carry something like this is going to find the round that works best for them, you know, and use that.
And guys, please answer down in the comments section if you own a Kimber and you've had nothing but success with it, with that gun. Please tell us down in the comments because we want to know.
Yeah.
Because we're not here to knock Kimber. We're not here to knock any guns. We're just here to share our very limited experience.
And heads are going to explode here. There are some people out there who are smarter than us. Not all of them. Not all of them. You know, don't give them license to start saying I'm smarter than you. But you know what? There are some people out there that have more knowledge than we do. With Kimber, even for example, and the Pro Carry. So if you know something, you know, let us know.
Yeah. But there's a little short, quick kind of discussion and comparison between a very cheap 1911 and a slightly nicer 1911 in the Kimber. What we're finding today is that you can probably have success with either gun depending on the time you put into it. And I would say that, if anything, what I'm proving today is that the Tisas is not a bad 1911
No,
at
it's
all.
not bad. I mean, the worst feature on it for me is that you can't change the sights.
Yeah. Well, that could be a really huge deal for some folks.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, there you go, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Late Boy Scout, Hank Strange.
Thanks for coming out, man.
We'll see you. On your channel's About page, you call yourself a novice firearms enthusiast.
Right.
When did that enthusiasm start and what sparked it?
I've always been into guns. As far back as I can remember, I've always been into guns. My dad's an engineer by training.